Certainly been a good year. Happy with the balanced results that we've delivered. 19% at our top line. Our subscription revenue grew 19% globally, which at a constant currency level, so taking out any foreign exchange noise, and we were very pleased with that. Most importantly, as importantly, our bottom line performance was excellent for the year. We had delivered adjusted EBITDA of 442 million at a margin of 26%, and that's up 600 basis points from the previous year. So very pleased about the margin accretion that we're seeing, and we're certainly on our way towards our longer-term goal of getting to that margin above 30% plus as we progress the business. So very pleased with the year.
Absolutely. A lot of people will kill for that margin. Where were the performances from? Take us through perhaps where the bulk of that better performance came from.
Thank you. Certainly our America's business with a star performance. United States was top of the class this year. Over 70% top line growth, as well as a nice expansion at the bottom line, which was good. Followed by our operation in Brazil, which was a very strong performer. Also, for a relatively low base, of course, but very pleased with the performance of that business. Worth highlighting our South African business in a very tough economy, tough environment. Our team here delivered top line growth of 13% and spectacular bottom line performance. So, it's a big business, so we've got good economies of scale here, and it certainly shows us it's delivering 40% plus margins. At the EBITDA level, it shows us what the rest of our world can achieve as they grow towards critical mass. So that was a very exciting part of our business.
And the rest of the continent, you're not mentioning, or were there difficulties there?
Well, it's a mixed bag. So north of the South African borders, picking up because a lot of those economies are dependent on resource and many of them on oil. And oil is obviously very strong at the moment. So we expect countries like Nigeria, for example, and we're starting to see the activity in that region pick up significantly. We saw it in the year that we're reporting, and we're expecting that to continue as their oil revenues start getting very healthy again. So what that will also do for them will give them access to foreign exchange, which has been lacking in the last couple of years. So operating north of South Africa is always challenging for any business because many of the countries, or many of our customers in a lot of these countries, can't get access to foreign exchange.
Yeah.
And we don't like to take very small country currencies because it complicates already complex treasury for us. So we'd like to stick to our 5 main currencies, and generally that's what we do.
Yeah. So strong performances all around. Let's talk about into the future. Sustainable in which parts and where are the difficulties? I mean, when you look at what's happening in South Africa, the suggestion is that the economy is beginning to turn around. And again, you talk about Nigeria. Again, the suggestion is that the economy is beginning to turn around with the high oil prices. What are you looking at into the future?
Yeah, so certainly I think the sentiment in Africa and South Africa particularly is much improved at the opening stages of this year to what it was this time last year. Customer sentiment has improved, investor sentiment has improved, and I think we're starting to see signs that the economy is probably benefiting from that, and I see the forecasts are certainly indicating that. It's not going to be fast enough for all of our issues here, but certainly any improvement in the pace or the velocity of the economy, I think, is a good thing. So I think that's good. In terms of our business going forward, we have guided for the year going ahead, so we're confident that the momentum that we've had in the year that we've reported, we can continue, and we're working hard, in fact, to even improve on that momentum in all of our geographies, including some that this previous year were maybe not star performance, Middle East and Europe being examples. Yeah. Both of them grew. Europe grew marginally behind our plan, but looking at the pipeline they've got, we think that'll be corrected this year.
Absolutely. So in South Africa, we're talking about Ramaphoria, and as I was saying, I was speaking to one of the captains of industry here yesterday, Brian Joffe, and he was saying the R in the Rand must be called Ramaphosa because of the impact that he has had. Your views on how the South African business environment is evolving under him, and do you have any concerns or do you have excitement?
No, he's an experienced businessman, and he's had a long track record and an unblemished, to a large degree, track record. He's renowned as a solid operator, and I think that can only be good. I think the country has to recover its reputation globally, and I think it started off very strongly on that basis. I mean, he is rated by world leaders all over the world as a smart, honest guy, and I think that's got to be good for us and good for our Renaissance.
Are you rating him with extra capital allocation to South Africa?
I think it's what's happening already is probably early stages. Clearly, there's a lot more work that needs to be done, and I certainly think we've got a much better chance of an accelerated capital injection into this country than we had 12 months ago. So I think he will get credit for it. I think it will happen, and I think he'll be credited for it.